think that jealousy is just misplaced inspiration. But the last time I felt jealous before, it was actually of you. When Brie went on her first, the joy, the freedom that I witnessed you experiencing, and also the money that you made while living that experience. At that time, I'd been massively overworking. I'm jealous of Brie and the life she's living. And what I did with that jealousy was even though what I really felt was like, why can't I do that? What has she unlocked that I have not unlocked? And then I remembered like that was kind of my first like gift in realizing that like, if that's what you want, Steph, you can also create that. And like, there's your proof, which is just so cool.
So I'm joined, it feels so weird being formal, this is not right, but I'm joined by Stephanie Gorton. Stephanie Gorton, who has been many titles to me.
Current title, best friend.
But boss. She's been my boss, my business mentor. I've been bridesmaid.
They all start with B.
Bridesmaid, boss, business mentor, bitch.
Best friend.
Best friend. Oh my God, she's my B. She's my B. And so today we're going to do a few things today, but we're starting with a fun episode today. I'm not going to do your introduction because I'll do that at another time. And you've been on this podcast. This is your third time.
This is my third time.
Third time.
Repeat offender.
Repeat offender because all the B's.
All the B's.
We're going to do a fun episode today, and Steph didn't know that I was doing this. I just literally dropped it on you. So Steph's walked in and I'm like, we're going to play a game because I needed to shift my mood because things happened. We're shifting my mood. We're doing a fun game. We're doing rapid fire, which either of us are very good at. I have a little iPad in front of me. If you're watching on YouTube, I have an iPad. This was my fun when I was a teacher. This was the game that kids hated.
Okay.
It's spin the wheel, and it's like whatever you get, whatever it spins up, you've got to answer.
Okay.
So we're doing this game. It's kind of like a reflection on 2024 together, which will be really fun. But it's got a bit of a shadow work tint.
Fun.
So we're going to take it in turns if I can get it to work. We're going to take it in turns spinning, and then we have to answer whatever it comes up with.
I really appreciate the effort that you've gone to make this fun and also uncomfortable. So I'm fucking
cool. Let's go. You start.
Oh,
this
yay.
is our
Okay.
reflection / a little bit of shadow work for us.
All right. So let's
to
do.
do together.
Do I tap to spin?
Tap to spin.
Tap to spin. All right.
Yeah.
Let's go. All right. Spinning wheel of death.
It usually has some sound effects. Come on. Oh God.
This is good. Breanna, what's your toxic trait?
Oh, there's so many. My toxic trait is ghosting, like massively ghosting in messages on WhatsApp, on DMs. I'm in the conversation when I'm in, and then halfway through, I'll just ghost and you won't hear from me for a few days. Would you?
Can confirm.
Can confirm. I'm terrible on my phone.
Yeah.
And I'm really, really on, and then I'm really, really not.
Yeah. I've definitely experienced it from you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I've also,
you're the same.
I think I'm worse.
Yeah.
I'll ghost for months.
Yeah. I feel like we mirror each other's toxicity in that way.
And so therefore it doesn't feel toxic at all.
No, it's not toxic.
It's not toxic
Fine.
at all.
I see, this is why you play shadow work games with your best friends, because you just validate each other's shit.
Echo chamber of perfection.
So we're not toxic.
Not toxic at all. Not a toxic trait for me.
All right, I'm going to remove that one and I'm going to ask yours.
So if you're in our DMs and we accidentally ghost you, it's not hate, it's love actually.
It's just love.
It's love.
It's boundaries. It's boundaries. Okay, Steph.
Yes.
Ooh, I don't like this. What's my toxic trait?
Oh no! Your toxic trait.
Be real.
Okay, I'm going to be really,
gnarly.
really real. Oh, do you know what? It's like my favorite thing about you, and it's also something that I think does probably like stall you at times, is I think that you think very deeply. And I'm not going to call it overthinking because I don't think it's like, I don't think you're like, it's not anxiety driven, overthinking, paranoia, but it's definitely like you think so deeply about everything. I think you're almost like trying to find all of the angles and the holes, and the things that could potentially come up, that it potentially stops you from like just moving and taking action. That's probably
just, that's Steph reading my soul.
Yeah.
That's so true.
I was totally going to have this conversation with you over wine.
We need to have this over a wine. I had this conversation with Paul last night.
But Paul's also a mega deep thinker. Like deeper even than us. Like way deeper than you. Yeah.
What did we call him? Gandhi.
He's like Gandhi.
He just is a philosophical thinker, and we've anchored into that together, and we've noticed that pattern where we're like, we need to stop with all the deep philosophical chats sometimes and just fucking have a bit of fun.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like, they're also great. But
we
also,
love it.
Yeah, like, it's so good.
Yeah,
and also it's so bad. It's like one of those, like, all shadows have good and bad, right? But it's one of those things that I love the deep thinking, and I love we're camping with Paul, and it's amazing, and it's so good, and it's so deep and amazing. Yeah. And also that I see it, like, sometimes I'm like, Bree, you're thinking, so, like, as your business coach, I'm like, Bree, you're thinking so much. You just need to do the thing. Yeah. Like, just do it.
You're so right.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel really seen. Thank you. That was great. That's also a great toxic one to have.
Yeah, I feel like, definitely. It's not like, not super nasty. Okay, let's go again.
When was the last time you felt jealous, and what did it teach you about desire?
Because I think that jealousy is just misplaced inspiration. And so now when I wouldn't acknowledge it as jealousy. I'd probably just feel it as inspiration. Yeah. But the last time I felt jealous before I was aware that it was jealousy, it was actually of you. Years ago now, when Bree went on her first bicycle tour of Europe.
Which you laughed at me for, by the way. So the shadow is presented because you're like, wait,
I was like, that's the lamest trip ever. What do you mean you guys are doing that?
On a bicycle?
That's so lame. Why would you do that? I was like, we'll do business class, we'll meet you over there. Like, it's so note for me. But the joy, the freedom that I witnessed you experiencing. And also the money that you made while living that experience really showed me that at that time I'd been massively overworking for a really extended period of time. And so I realized in that moment that I was like, I'm jealous of Bree and the life she's living. What I did with that jealousy was I went online and I called up your hotel and I ordered a bottle of champagne to your room to celebrate the fuck out of you, even though what I really felt was like, why can't I do that? What has she unlocked that I have not unlocked? And then I remembered, like, that was kind of my first, like, gift in realizing that, like, if that's what you want, Steph, you can also create that. And, like, there's your proof, which is just so cool.
I love that. And I actually reflected on that because you did tell me that last time I think we were together. We reflected on this. And I actually said to Paul after, that is why you're my best friend. Like, you had the awareness and the safety to be experiencing jealousy, and I had no freaking idea. Like, I just knew that you had ordered this bougie champagne to our Santorini hotel, and I felt nothing but supported, even though you were jealous. There was no projections. There was no weird ickiness. And then you actually told me about it. So it was like safety on safety on safety because A, I didn't feel the projections of that stuff going on, and B, we then just spoke about it and had a laugh. And I was like, I don't think that it's about dissolving jealousy so that it never happens, but it's exactly what you did where it's like, don't let your shit be projected onto someone else.
Totally.
And it just made me love you even more.
Yeah, anything I feel is a me thing. So, like, I was genuinely happy for you, you know? And I tried to explain it to Tim at the time, and I was like, no, but I'm happy for her. He's like, well, you don't really seem it. And I was like, I understand, and I really need to work on this. And this is what I really have to work on today. Like,
So cool, because you really did after that. Like, you've not stopped traveling the last year.
No. Yeah, really lit something under me. So thank you.
I'm so glad.
Thank you.
I'm so glad.
Okay, you're up.
These are good.
These are really good. Good job. This is fun.
Yeah.
Bree, what's a bad habit that you can't let go of?
Chocolate
Just
at
chocolate.
nighttime. Chocolate at night. I have chocolate after every dinner. There's been a few nights lately where I don't, but chocolate.
What's your go-to chocolate?
Lindt. Dark. I usually stick to dark chocolate.
Okay.
But I think, is it even something I want to not do? Like, I don't know. It doesn't mean, it doesn't feel like the first thing that, like, am I sad about it? Not really. Like, I have 2 squares of chocolate, so I don't know. Something that I would like to, my phone. Like, even when I went for a walk just before I went to repark my car, and I was walking down, noticing that I was, you know, when your thumb does that thing between the apps?
Yes.
Instagram, emails, blah, blah. And I was like, what am I doing? Like, it's a 2-minute break.
Yeah.
Why do I need to check all these apps? And it's just this unconscious habit that I've noticed and that I find hard to let go of if I'm not really consciously on top of it.
Totally. Tim checked his screen time. So we're pretty hardcore on each other. And he checked his screen time recently and he realized Tim's got quite an addictive nature. Like gets pretty obsessive about stuff when he's obsessed about it. And he found that he was like spending like 6 hours on his phone a day, and which is like way too much, like way more than we would be liking to spend. And I realized I was spending about 3.5, which I'm actually reasonably happy with. I think it's pretty good.
Yeah.
And considering I run businesses as well. And Tim's was sitting up 6, sometimes 7, sometimes 8 hours a day, and 6 of those hours on Instagram. And he was like, this isn't even my main platform. Like, and that's, sometimes you just have to call yourself honest. And now he's deleted all platforms on his phone. His screen time's dropped down to 2 hours. You know, like it's just so, like, but you have to call it and say, hey, like, it's in those moments when you're walking between something, 2 minutes, and you're like, fidgeting for your phone in your bag, and you're thinking, what? I don't even want my phone.
And what for? Like,
what am I going to look at?
Those are the moments that inspiration used to drop in. And so that's something that I've just been really conscious of this last few weeks. And the same as Tim, I put you know how you can put the locks on? So after 3 hours, it kicks me out.
Perfect.
And it's actually scary how quickly that can like
add up.
Because so it's little, it's incidental times.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Massively. Okay, you ready? Ooh. What's your go-to excuse for avoiding plans?
I'm queen of this. Go-to excuse for avoiding plans. I usually just be honest. At this point, I'm just like, I really don't feel well. I don't feel like it. I'm not feeling up to it. Honestly, I'm going to be no fun. Like, it'll be usually very honest. Toxic trait, I'll be really honest, though, shadow shit. The past Steph, like me back in the day, like 4 years ago, like I was like always sick, or car problems, or like my mum was sick, which I mean is if you know my story, my mum is like not too far. It's not too far a jump. But I always like made up excuses, whereas now I'm just a lot more honest about excuses. And I think the biggest thing is I don't avoid plans as much anymore because I don't make them as much anymore. Like I won't say yes to shit that I don't want to go to.
100%.
Ever. Like, so I'm so much more fierce with what I say yes to. That I'm then 100% committed to showing up for it.
I get
today,
that.
You guys might be able to hear I'm a little bit sick. I've had a cold the last couple of days. I call them level up colds. Obviously, something big's coming. You know, Breanna and I both woke up. We have cold sores. What the fuck?
I've never had one in my life. I think you've given it to me.
We got to stop hashing.
Stop. We've got to stop it. It's because I'm your We need to find a B word.
Apparently now there's a cold sore sharing thing happening in our friendship circle. So it definitely wasn't me, by the way, guys. Looking at Paul and being very, very dubious. Poor guy.
I know.
But at the end of the day, like I was like, Tim was like, oh, maybe you should cancel. Like you're not feeling 100%. And I was like, no. Because I made a commitment and I want to do it. And I think that makes all the difference, right?
100%. Yeah.
Okay.
So funny that it used to be just lying. Mine was the same.
Yeah, just to lie.
Just lie. And then noticing how many times I would lie brought the awareness to what I don't actually want to do.
Totally. And
Same
like, how many times did you lie to the same person? And it got to the point where you were like, why am I still saying yes if I have to keep lying to get out of it? Like that brought the awareness on, right?
Yeah.
I had those people as well in my life.
100%.
Oh, love. Breanna, what does your drunk self tell us about your repressed self? I feel like you kind of unlocked that just before.
I may have just touched on it.
Yeah.
I'd say that there was years of repression sexually.
Yeah.
So drunk self in the past was very like, there was definitely a time where drunk self was a little girl who wanted to be validated and needed to be the chosen one.
Oh, yep.
Like definitely my drunk self needed to be the chosen one on the dance floor. Even if I wasn't interested, I liked the game and I needed to win.
Interesting.
There was definitely some of that. I reckon there might still be like elements of I need a win.
Yeah.
And if you say I can't have something, I want it more.
Yeah.
So that's still there. But and then over the years, that's kind of gone away in terms of all of that. But I think, do you know what? More recently, now I would say it's actually the repression of fun. I am a hoot.
Yeah.
Like I am a hoot. And I always was. Like, I think we spoke about this, right? Like a huge part of my identity in all of my 20s and before then was like party girl and the life of the party, not just the party girl, like the one on the tables, the last one at the club, like, and that was a part of my identity because I actually loved it. Like I love fun. Like, I love having fun.
No, there's people who love fun, and then there's people like you and I. It's different.
Yeah.
And so we are like the life of the party. And I think it's like we haven't partied together actually, which is super fun.
Not big.
No. But same thing.
Yeah.
And so like exactly the same thing. Always the last one on the dance floor.
Yes.
Always the first one on the table.
Yes.
Like always, that girl. And so like go big, go home kind of energy. Yeah.
And I would say more recently now, like if I was to have a few drinks and go out now, that would be the repression. It would be like, yes, let's go down. And it's like this part of me that's like, it's gotten a bit serious when you're building a business and when you're,
trying for a family,
all these things, it gets a bit serious. And then now that's actually really interesting. Now my repressed self is like craving a little bit of like
a good time. Yeah, totally. Totally. I don't know. I reckon there's a phase of life in your mid-30s where shit just gets really serious.
Yeah. And then you're like, actually, can we go back to what we used to do?
Because we've been feeling that too, right? And then like we've been talking about this as well. But yeah, I totally think there's something in your mid-30s where you just like, everyone's like kind of growing up and having a bit of the responsibilities just get a little much, you know?
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear the answer to this. What's a moment this year where you felt the most aligned with your true self?
To be honest, I actually think it was very recent. And we just came back from a really cool America trip. And it was the first time that I think really honestly that in the last 4 weeks, I've just fully accepted who I am. Like warts and all. Like I fully, truly, cold sores over here, we're down, it's what happens. It's not always hot. Definitely not always hot. And I've just accepted that like I'm different. We're all different. That I've really accepted how I'm different. And I think I used to make myself feel bad for those things, like or wrong. I think I've always been trying to find ways in which I'm wrong or, different from other people and why. Whereas instead of just accepting that I am and that and in some ways, and so the way that this mostly plays out in a lot of ways is that like we do have really big goals and we do have really big dreams and we do really like working. And as much as I'm really conscious of my social media feed being like, oh, you should be in this energy and have this and do this and do this. And I'm like, but I feel most lit up when I am doing these things. I feel most alive when I am doing these things. And then maybe that won't be forever, but for this season, right now, it felt really good. You know me, and you've spoken about this before. Yeah. For me, on behalf of me, but to have a really big thing to go for and for it to be really, not scary, but challenging and to know that there's going to be an inherent amount of risk attached to it, fucking turns me on. I'm like, let's do it.
It's so you.
Yeah.
It's so you. And I think that like, we spoke about it in WhatsApp while you're in America. And I was like, I always get protective as your friend where I'm like, as long as you're always looking after your soul as well. Like,
Yeah.
But then when you spoke about it and we talked about it and after Kerwin Ray's death, like I think that activated something deep for you. I know it did for me, but for you, I was like, whoa. Yeah. And then I'm so glad you said to me like, nah, this is actually coming from the most grounded, healthy place. Totally. And I was like, fucking send it then because it is your purpose. Like I see you lit up doing all the work and I see you then try to make yourself wrong for not having things outside of work that light you up as much. Yeah. And it's like, but that is your purpose.
Correct. And everyone's like, oh, but what about family? And I'm like, well, if you had my family, maybe you would not want to hang out with them as much. And
100%.
So it's different for everybody, right? Like, and I think that my life doesn't look the same. And I'm really fortunate that I've found Tim and we're in really similar boats. Yeah. And so, because of that, we're just really on track with each other about it. And sometimes I've been wondering, is it my stuff or is it Tim's stuff? Am I just copying or is it, and it's just taken a little while for it all to just land. Yeah. Recently it just all landed. And it feels so good. It just feels, I feel really at ease.
Was America the catalyst for that?
Yeah, it really was.
And just being around others that are exactly the same?
Yeah, I just realised that there was being around others that were the same and realising the likeness.
Yeah.
Whereas there is a lot of times, especially in Perth, but in general, at the end of the day, there's not that many people playing at that level. No. So there's so few. There's going to be few of us, right? There's whatever. I don't get to meet that many people. And when I hang out with people and I talk business that aren't wanting to go where we want to go or aren't there, And so because the people who are there don't have stories about being there, they're just there.
Yeah.
So let's say we're talking about 10 million, right? Let's say we're talking about a $10 million company with, multiple employees and multiple teams and multiple programs and online events and retreats and huge things and big impact and maybe their own television show. Let's say that that's what the goal was, right?
Yeah.
Then when you meet people who are there, so grounded, so normal.
Yeah.
So fine.
Yeah.
Then when you hang out with people who aren't there, they have a lot of story about what it would be like to be there and what you would have to sacrifice to be there. And when you speak to people who are there, they're like, it wasn't that bad. Just do this.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
Okay, I've been making this a really big story for me.
Yeah.
I've been making this a really hard thing.
Yeah.
I've been making this an identity thing or a yaya thing where the identity's already grounded. Just the story wasn't yet tapped in.
The meaning that you made from it.
The meaning that I made from it.
Yeah.
And
it's so good.
Yeah, the story I told myself about what it would take to get there.
Yeah.
When you meet people there, you're just like, oh, they're just so normal.
Yeah.
They're flawed and all. Of course. So
then
anyone can do it.
I'm so excited for you. I'm so excited for you to just own it.
Yeah. It feels really good.
Yeah.
And to own it from Perth, which is really nice. What's a belief you're leaving behind in 2024?
The belief that this is going to be no surprise to you. The belief is something, and I haven't got the articulation for it fully, but it's something around more scale equals more pressure or more team and more scale equals more responsibility. And I've got this huge, you've seen it, every time I think because my highest value is lifestyle, time and family, I'm so protective, and that sabotages me to a point in my business because I'll always say to you yeah, but I don't want to sacrifice this, or but I love my life, I love my time, and I don't want to. So it's obviously I have this incongruence internally where it's I don't believe you get to have both because I do want to scale and make huge impact in the mind school, but there is some belief about what that's going to take and I'm unwilling to sacrifice family time and all of that kind of thing, which is silly because I've seen people that have both.
Totally.
I've seen it.
Yeah, lots.
Yeah.
Yeah, not lots. There's not that many people do it.
There's not that many, to be honest.
I think that a lot of people don't do it because
the belief
of this exact story. I genuinely, because I had the story.
Yeah.
I had the story. I was but I don't want a team. It's okay, but the minute you get a great, and you've had team members you've loved, and when you get a great team, it's the best.
Yeah.
And no, it's not perfect, and it's not always easy, and it's not always going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun a lot of the time. And I am so down for you to leave this story behind.
Yeah.
I'm so down for you to rewrite it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's also not a lot of role models, I would say, that are doing it with also at the season of life where they're growing a family. So that's another thing where I'm can I have all of it at once? And I know I can, but there's something there that I'm ready to leave behind. It's not going to serve the mind school. I'm the thing holding it back.
And there are so I think we'll talk about it later, obviously. But I do think that there's just because so many people need mind school, and I'm such a big champion of getting this in all the places, not just yes, of course, the actual school itself, the thing you've built into schools, into education systems, into teacher upskilling, into there's just so many avenues that are needed in this space that just makes so much sense for you to champion, but I just don't think it can be you being the champion. You can be the face, but not the whole thing.
Yeah.
So it's exciting.
I'm very excited. I definitely spent some time thinking about it yesterday. I think I sent you a few sad messages. Because so many times I've said to Steph, I need a business partner. I need a manager to manage me. And Steph's been no, I don't know if you need it yet. And after the last time we caught up, you were like, oh, you do.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to find that person.
I realised that. Yeah, so if you're out there and you're listening and you got skills that we need, skills that Bree needs.
Skills that I am not.
Yeah, skills
manage me.
We need, if someone wants to manage Bree and has skills, has interest in coaching or understanding mind school and interest in the area, but has probably
logistical data
driven,
driving,
Facebook ads,
attention to detail.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Reach out.
Yeah.
Because Bree needs
Hit us up.
Bree needs
Hit us up. I'm excited. I'm excited to see where I take that next year because the mind school's ready.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's ready.
Mine school's ready.
So ready.
Ready to burn. All right, we are down to the last ones. What trait in others annoys you the most?
Oh.
And how are you actually also like that? Oh, she's struggling to say it, fam.
Interesting. I'm trying to think of, like, I said it just yesterday. I said to Tim, I was like, you know what's really annoying? I was like, people who whinge. Like, I get really frustrated by people who whinge. And while the way in which I was framing it was very much like almost like a victim mentality. Everything's like not hard, but like giving up. Well, no, like someone come save me.
Everything's hard.
Is so hard. Why is it so difficult for me? And I was like, oh, it really frustrates me.
Yeah.
Because like it's so much more powerful when you just go, you know what? It's fucking hard. It's because at some level I'm not doing the things I need to do. I need to be better. And in saying that, there's probably shit that I do need to do in that regard. Like, with regard to like my weight and my body, I definitely get whingy. Why can't I like get really annoyed when I see other people with genetically perfect like bodies and
6 foot tall,
can eat whatever the fuck they want all the time, and I'm over here like, you know, looking at food and gaining a kilo. Like, and
well, I mean, you're 4 foot, so like
I am 4 foot, so it's got nowhere to go. It's got nowhere to go. I can't sneak a cupcake, and so. You know, I think that I get a bit whingy. I could definitely say that there are a lot of days where I get very whingy about that.
Yeah.
And also, I've touched on it a few times here, also about my family. I definitely can get very victim-y, very whingy about my family. Like, I look at your family and I'm like, that would be so nice. That would be so amazing. Yeah.
So interesting because you actually don't whinge much.
I can
honestly back that.
No, I don't.
I would say that's probably there's your like little. It's more like
it's probably
you're
internal.
repressed.
I think
you're repressed whinger.
Totally,
because you're so aware of it that you don't do it. But there's probably an internal like.
I think there's an internal dialogue.
I will never be a victim. So there's probably like repressed victim mentality or something.
Totally, yeah. I don't whinge. I really don't.
You don't.
I really don't whinge.
You don't.
And Tim would never let that fly.
No,
never ever.
No,
he would call me on it instantly.
Yeah.
But I do feel like maybe
that's
internally,
a trait.
Yeah,
that you're like,
she lives into me. Yeah.
And I reckon there's do you know what? I've actually played around with, because I'm the same. I freaking hate the victim mentality, the woe is me. But I'm the same as you. I don't outwardly do it, but then I repress myself from feeling it. Recently with the fertility stuff, I've actually allowed myself to be a little victim every now and then. And fuck, it feels good.
You know what? All you need, someone told me this the other week. Well, someone said to me the other week, you just need 30 seconds.
Yeah.
If you need to cry, you just need to cry hard out.
Yes.
Because, like, you don't have more than 30 seconds in you. 60 at most.
Yes.
Like,
agreed.
And you just got to just, like, heave it. Yeah, so I was sick yesterday. I was, like, not feeling well. I felt like Tim was neglecting me. He wasn't. I was going crazy.
Yeah.
And I just went to the toilet and I just, like, cried. And I was like, you know what, Steph? Just cry it out.
Yeah.
Just get it all out of your system right now.
Yeah.
Literally 45 seconds later, I was like, that was so silly.
Yeah. And it feels good.
Yeah. I think sometimes you just got to let it all out. Like, you've got to give yourself the moment. Otherwise, it just builds.
Yeah. And then you start hating it in other people.
Okay. Oh, you've got all these really, like,
what?
Interesting ones. What's one lesson from 2024 that you're grateful for, even if it was painful?
Oh. I don't even know if I'm at the other side of it yet. I'm still in the pain. But I'm having to learn, okay, there's probably a few things, and this is where you're going to see me overthink it and look at multiple lenses and angles and perspectives and go around the twist. But the fertility journey has been painful, and the lesson that I feel like I'm being forced into is to surrender and give up control. But at the same time, I'm going around and around in my head thinking, if I do IVF, am I then really not trusting? If my lesson is trust and surrender, I wouldn't believe I need IVF, because nobody can find a reason. And I'm such a person that needs a root cause for things. So I get in my own way because I'm like, I need to find the root cause, and until I do, I'm not going to just bend on my beliefs. But now I'm like, is the lesson that I need surrender and just like full trust. It'll happen when it's meant to happen because there is nothing medically wrong. And so if it really is about trust, if I move into IVF, am I really trusting? But then if I don't move into IVF, am I getting in my own way because actually my body needs some support? Can you see how I'm like both ways?
I feel like, and I feel like trust plays both ways because maybe trust is trusting in the system or trusting in somebody else to support you.
Yeah. And I don't know which direction, but I feel like trust and maybe it's also like getting out of my own way because I can be stubborn in my beliefs.
No. Just no way.
I was like, no, I don't. But I was like, I don't. When they said unexplained infertility, I was like, don't tell me unexplained.
Yeah, that sucks.
I hate unexplained.
Yeah,
I will always find an answer.
Well, you're also an academic, so you like to have answers. Like there's like you like hypothesis, you like proof, you like
root cause.
You enjoy research.
Yeah.
Like there is an element of you that is, academic, like and really loves the whole process of understanding the full picture.
And when I can't get an answer,
that'll be very frustrating.
Yeah. So I actually don't know what the lesson is. It's been painful.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure yet which way to go with the lesson. I think it's trust, but it could also be I'm being so stubborn now that I'm getting in my way. I'm holding on to beliefs that no longer serve me around IVF. And maybe what I need to do is open up to support. Or do I lean into trust and believe,
Totally, both work. But you could convince yourself both ways.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's my toxic trait.
Yeah. And you guys just watched Breanna's thinking play out.
Yeah, it's deep and at multiple angles and then spinning around in a circle.
Yeah.
But I am moving closer toward IVF.
I feel like this, though, is one of those things you do want to overthink, to be fair.
Yeah.
Like, should I run ads or not run ads is like...
Just run the ads. Yeah.
Whatever. But
I feel like Steph is an influencer for Meta, just saying.
I should be at this point.
You should be.
I should be.
Like,
Meta should be paying me. I should get kickback on ads.
You should. You should look into that. Yeah. It's something that needs a little bit more thinking than just doing ads.
I actually think that you thinking about it is a good thing.
Yeah. So I don't know what the lesson is, but it's definitely been a painful thing. If 2024 had a theme song, what would it be?
Oh,
what's the theme of 2024? I feel like you've gone through so many different iterations.
I have had a lot of iterations this year.
A lot.
Yeah. For me, it's been a season too. It's been a very much, I think this year's been a real big identity season for me I think all the last my entire life, I think I've been trying all different identities and I think I finally found the one that fits, which is really nice.
What would you say is the language for that?
What would that be?
What's your identity now though that's landing?
I don't know how I'd language it right now. It feels just very calm, which business hasn't felt for me before and life hasn't felt for me before. So it feels, and it has been feeling calm for weeks. Like it's not, and there's been no, it's crazy how simple it's all felt and how easy and easeful it's felt. Now, it's a season, of course. There are hardships around the corner, but it has felt easy. Maybe it's that song. Am I going to have to sing it? Because I don't know what it's called.
Steph was a musical theatre, guys. Let it, come on.
It's going to be like that song. It's going to be like, let's go. There's no excuses now. I'm talking here and now.
Neo. Is that a Neo song?
Is it Neo?
Let's go. No. Yeah, I know the one. Wow, we just butchered it. Yeah, I know the one. It takes me back.
It's not about where you're going, it's about where you've been.
Okay, wow. So listeners that are watching this on YouTube or viewers, both of us were actually musical theatre nerds, believe it or not. We loved a bit of musical. I think
10 years of singing lessons.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, that was how that played out.
That's how that played out. Yeah, I get that for you. I like that for you. Yeah. I feel like you've entered I feel like it's giving Hormozy.
It feels
it's giving. Yeah. You know what? I'm sick of being told there's something wrong with me because of how much I love this shit.
Yeah.
I'm sick of being told that I should want different. This is what I fucking love. Watch me go.
Yeah, and I know no secrets that I love him and her.
Yeah.
And do I think that they're toxic at times? Yeah, of course. And then do I also judge that because I see that in myself?
Yeah.
Probably mostly.
Yeah.
And so I have been listening to a lot of his podcasts lately with Chris Wills and I just think
I need to listen to that.
Oh, you would love it.
Yeah.
And I just think that, I think it's probably giving.
Yeah, I see that and I love that.
Okay. Last one for you. What's the most ridiculous thing that you spent money on this year?
Oh, ridiculous thing I've spent money on this year. There's probably so much. I mean, Shein, everything that I ever buy on Shein.
Do you wear any of it? Because I very rarely I stop buying on there because I'm like, Steph, you never wear any of it.
There'd be a lot of stuff from Shein that I've got to stop with, but I can't think of anything that's really ridiculous or something that I've instantly regretted. I make lots of irrational decisions, even in business. Like I just go, yep, that's what I want, I'll do that now. And then I'm like, oh, that wasn't the right choice.
That's the only way you know, though.
But I do
That's how you learn.
Yeah. I can't think of anything off the top of my head.
Okay.
But I'll say something probably from Shein.
Okay.
Sorry, that was lame.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed it. All right. Last question. Oh, it's a great one to end on.
Okay.
Not a high necessarily.
Oh, good. Good. Well, we've done the dancing and the new. Okay.
So,
Cool.
No, it's not a low. What's a goal that you did not achieve in 2024 and what stopped you?
Oh, interesting. My main goal for this year was to launch and grow the Mind School, and I feel like that was exceeded expectations. So the main goals, I did have an intention to grow my podcast, and that hasn't happened in terms of downloads.
Yeah,
hasn't happened.
Guys, if you're listening, don't be a hoe. Share the show.
Yeah, I love that. Where'd you hear that? It's so good.
Ed Priscilla, his podcast.
Yes, don't be a hoe. Share the show. So that's probably one that I haven't hit, and why would be it hasn't been my top of focus. It just hasn't. Mind School was.
Yeah.
I guess if you're going, like, I didn't get pregnant this year.
And what stopped you? Not lack of trying.
Definitely not, man. That just, So that's a goal that has not yet been achieved, but that's coming. And everything else feels good.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
I think we did it all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we did it all. I would say every year I'd love to get down a couple of kilos. And it's those last
this
three.
Me and you, me thing.
It's just every year, though.
Yeah.
It's 3 kilos and she just won't leave.
Yeah.
And I blame her, but it's me. And
she uses them.
She is the problem.
Yeah.
She is me. Shadow self. She is like,
she's an eater.
No. Yeah, she's an eater.
Is it emotional eating or just literally you don't have much calories to play with?
I don't have much calories to play with, and I stop measuring. And if I stop measuring, it just, it starts out okay because you kind of know what your portion is. But then you have one meal, and then it's a bit bigger, and then the next day you're hungry because you had a bit of a bigger meal, so your stomach's like adjusting,
literally.
And the next minute you're just like eating more than you need to, And I'm never really, like, it's always in this 3 kilo, like, space, So I'm never, like, overweight. Like, no one would look at me like, oh, she's gained heaps of weight. But I feel it. And I can never quite keep it off.
Do you reckon travel plays a part?
For sure. And eating out, like, for sure. Like, we're home now. I'm cooking all 3 meals every day and it's fine. And, like, I'm immediately dropping weight. But America, like, I see it.
100%.
Oh, my God, what are you supposed to do?
Yeah, cycle.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
That is the answer. Honestly, it was the answer. It was my miracle answer to enjoying all the food when I'm traveling, all the drinks, everything, but cycling my way through the country.
We did actually cycle along the beach one day in America, and I said to Tim, I think I could do this.
Get out.
Yeah, they had a really comfortable bike seat.
Get out.
It really matters. And so we were on the bike for an hour. That's unheard of for me.
How?
Yeah. It's not like cycle across the country.
Maybe we can try it next.
Yeah, maybe if you could go for like, maybe go for 2 hours.
Okay. We'll meet you somewhere in your RV.
Yeah.
That'll be sick.
We'll go cycling together.
Yeah. 2025, you heard it here first.
2025 goals.
It'll be the next vlog.
The next vlog. 2025 vlog.
Thanks so much for that. That was fun.
That was so fun.
I'm really excited to go have wines.
Yeah, let's do that.
All right.
Bye. Bye.
If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to hit like and maybe consider subscribing. This really, really helps to grow this podcast, and it is a massive mission of mine to get you incredible guests and to increase and up-level all the production so that I can help you to create your dream life, to get the most out of yourself, the most out of the people that you serve. And so please hit subscribe now, and I will see you back here in the next video.